All right, consistent Tennis Win subscribers, we're in the kitchen today. I wanted to talk about the 3 things that I feel will really help you take your game to the next level. Number 1, stroke production. If you can consistently hit the ball where you want to with power, you're going to be a tougher player. You're going to be able to move your opponent around and go after their weaknesses. So consistency with your strokes is number 1. Number 2, take up your fitness level. If you have more endurance, more strength, you can get to the ball quicker, easier, be more balanced when you hit the ball. You're going to make less mistakes. So being fit has a huge impact on your game. Now the next thing, people might say, well, strategy and tactics. Now, strategy and tactics, of course, are very important, but, you know, it's not rocket science. One of the greatest players of all time, Bjorn Borg, they asked Bjorn once, you know, what's your strategy, Bjorn? And he said, well, basically I hit the ball cross court and occasionally I hit it down the middle. And that was it. I mean, the guy ran down every ball and he didn't miss. He did not miss. So the third thing that I feel can really help lift your game is nutrition. That's why we're in the kitchen today. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and why your diet choices can play a big factor in your ability to train, even on-court training or off-court training with fitness. Now, when we're on a diet of animal-based foods, okay, that I'm including there meat, chicken, fish, and dairy. Now, am I for these foods at all? Let me say right now, no. I'm not for any of those foods. I totally believe that a plant-based diet, fruits, vegetables, you can get some fats from avocados, nuts, and seeds. Those will give you adequate protein, calcium, all the nutrients that you need, as long as you're eating a wide variety of all those foods. Now, the reason why animal-based foods are not the most optimal foods, they contain too much dietary fat. Fat can be a problem for any athlete, for any human being, period. That's why we see in this country we have a high incidence of diabetes, cancer, heart disease, which is all caused by high dietary fat. That's a known fact. But for an athlete, it's even worse because it's going to decrease your oxygen upload to the cells. The problem with fat is that it's a gooey, sticky substance that takes a long time for your body to digest and process into simple sugars, because every cell in the body is fueled by simple sugar. So this fat, or this hamburger, or piece of steak, or piece of fish, or chicken, or yogurt, whatever you're eating, has to be turned into simple sugar before any cell in the body, the muscle cells, the heart cell, the brain cell, can use it. So this takes a long time for your body to process it. The 2 biggest energy depleters for human beings are digesting and emotions. Digestion takes a tremendous amount of our energy because we're trying to digest it so the body can use it. If you have a piece of steak, even, you know, an 8 to 12 ounce piece of steak, it's going to take the body 2 or 3 days to totally process that food. Your body's working and working, your digestive system, depleting your energy. If you don't have the energy, you're not going to be able to train. You're not going to be able to get fit. You're not going to feel like training because you're tired. Many people out there, chronic fatigue because they're on a high animal product diet, a high fat diet. So the key is, where are we going to get our calories if we're not getting them from animal foods? Now, you can't get enough calories from vegetables. Vegetables, don't get me wrong, are very good, loaded with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, extremely healthy for you. But they're not going to supply your calorie needs, your caloric intake. So this is where fruit comes in. Bananas. And notice these bananas are spotted. That's when you want to eat them. Let them get spotted. You don't want to eat bananas when they're green. Spotted, the sugar is ready in the banana, easily digested. Grapes, another great one. There's just so many. I mean, it's endless. And fruit tastes fantastic. Here's one that people aren't too familiar with, but Medjool Dates. These are like candy. What I'll do is I'll take maybe 5 or 10 of these. You have to take the pits out, throw them in your blender. By the way, if you don't have a blender, you really need to get one. You can get a KitchenAid blender for $99 at Bed Bath & Beyond. It's a great blender. This happens to be a Vitamix. It's one of those fancy dancy ones, but the $99 KitchenAid at Bed Bath & Beyond is fine. And that'll, do a great job for you. But anyway, I mean, there's just endless with fruits. You've got mangoes, pineapples, watermelon, oranges, grapefruits. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And if you go to some foreign countries, especially places like Costa Rica or Ecuador, you're going to find incredible fruits. But anyway, fruit is the key to recovery as well, because it replaces that muscle glycogen so fast, especially if you eat the fruit within 2 hours of your tennis training or your tennis off-court training. Load up on the fruit, the bananas, the grapes, the watermelon, the citrus. You ever notice at the end of a marathon, what do they give people? Bananas and orange juice and oranges. Okay, these are the best foods. You do not need protein after you train. You want fruit to restore the muscle glycogen and to rehydrate you. Fruits are loaded with water, the purest water on the planet, as a matter of fact, because it's been filtered by nature. So load up on those, you'll rehydrate, you'll restore the muscle glycogen. This way, you can train again because the recovery time is so much quicker. I mean, I'm 63 now, and I've been eating this way, a plant-based diet, for 5 years. And I lost a little weight, okay. I look thin, but I feel really good. I'm moving pretty well. My joints are feeling pretty good. Never had any operations, no new knees, no new hips, no new shoulders, I don't want any of that stuff. I'm sorry. I really think that those type of things can be totally, without a doubt, avoided if you eat cleaner. And by that I mean foods that easily go through your system, but at the same time they give you energy. And fruit fits the bill. Vegetables are very good. And then, as I mentioned, the nuts, the seeds, and the avocados. Now, I'm totally plant-based, but I'm not the plant-based police, So, I mean, if you still feel that you need some meat or fish or chicken, go ahead. But I'm telling you, you may lose a little weight, but you're going to feel quicker. You're going to feel more energy. You're going to be able to train harder. Because remember, what good is weight if it's not muscle weight? If it's fat or just water retention from kind of like blown up, inflated muscles, it's not doing you any good. you're just carrying around something you don't need. So believe me when I tell you this diet works, because I've been doing it for 5 years and I'm feeling very good at 63. Actually, I feel looser now. My joints are looser. I had a really stiff left shoulder at one point in my career. I could barely even toss. And now my shoulders have loosened up. My knees are okay. My hips are good. And I intend to keep it that way. I think it's getting actually better for me as I get older because I'm eating this way. So I'm passionate about it. I want you guys to try it. Get a blender. Start to use some fruits before you play. Hydrate heavily as you play. Drink a lot of water. And then fruits after you play. If you could just start off, let's say, okay, I'm going to have fruit in the morning. So you have fruit all morning, nothing but fruit. It really helps your internal plumbing too, you know, because your system works more efficiently, and many times the things that slow us down, as I mentioned earlier about the meat, it takes so long to process. And remember, if you're eating 3 times a day, okay, you should be having bowel movements at least 2 or 3 times a day. I have bowel movements 3 times a day, no problem, because I'm eating this type of food. And when you have that type of internal plumbing going, toxins do not build up. Toxins tend to build up in the joints, in the hips, in the knees. And this is all from that diet of too much fat. The toxins build up. They become like little crystals in the joints, and they're painful. Yeah, they hurt. Rheumatoid arthritis and arthritis are caused by poor diet. So these things can be fixed, but you have to be willing to put forth the effort. Trust me when I tell you it works, and you got to stick to it. But anyway, any questions, call me or email me on this diet. I'll be glad to help you out. It's a fantastic way of, well, let me put it this way. It gives you so much energy and you feel so good that nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. Nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. And believe me, when you can run around the tennis court and feel good at 63, nothing can beat that. So anyway, all the best. CTW subscribers, have a good one, and try and increase the fruit and cut back on the animal products, and watch, you're going to start to feel good. Now let me give you one quick warning though. If you're on a high fat diet, if you're eating a lot of animal products, meat, chicken, fish, and dairy, fruit will not sit well with you. Fruit gets a bad rap because they blame it on diabetes and everything else, but that's not the case. The root cause of diabetes is fat. So anyway, let me go on record here as stating too that right now all top athletes in the future will go plant-based eating, and probably high fruit as well. I don't know if you've heard, but I heard that Venus and Serena are now plant-based. They just started. But it's going to happen. As you see, the athletes that are doing it, even though Venus got beat there by Sharapova, she looked good. And I think she's coming back now. She's going to start to come back a little bit at age 33. Serena at age 32, I don't know how strict they are on the plant-based diet, but if they're strict on it, they're going to have more years to play, and they're going to win more Grand Slams. Anyway, have a good one. All the best. Take care.